My child, stop right now. I am speaking to you in this exact moment, and I am asking you not to move, not to scroll, not to push this aside as just another sound passing through your day. I am stopping you mid-scroll, mid-breath, mid-thought, because this moment matters more than you realize. This is not for everyone. This is not for the crowd. This is not for the many. This is for you. Just you and me, here, now, in this space where nothing else needs to compete for your attention. I know how quickly moments pass in your life. I know how easy it is to tell yourself you will listen later, feel later, think later. But I am speaking now because now is alive with meaning. You are not here by accident. You did not stumble into this moment by chance. I am reaching for you intentionally, personally, gently, yet with urgency born from love. You have heard words like 1 hour, and your mind wants to measure time, to count minutes, to expect something loud or dramatic. Listen to me carefully. This is not about a clock. This is about a divine moment that is already unfolding around you and within you. You are not waiting for something to begin. Something has already been set in motion while you are listening to my voice. Movement has already started in ways you cannot yet see. I am not exaggerating. I am not creating hype. I am not offering fantasy dressed up as hope. I am telling you the truth in a way your heart can receive. Real miracles rarely arrive with noise. They begin quietly. They take root before they show themselves. They move beneath the surface long before they touch what is visible. That is why so many miss them. They are looking for fireworks while heaven is working in stillness. You are closer than you think. Closer to clarity, closer to peace, closer to the shift you have been asking for without knowing how to name it. I know you have wondered if you missed your moment, if you arrived too late, if time slipped past you while you were trying to survive. Hear me now. You are not late. You have not missed what matters. You are standing inside the hour, inside the moment where change becomes possible because awareness has awakened. Something is already on the way, not rushing toward you with chaos, but aligning with you with care. Heaven is already moving toward alignment in your life. Doors you thought were closed forever are being reconsidered. Weights you carried for too long are beginning to loosen. Understanding you did not have before is starting to form quietly in your heart. This is how real change begins. I want you to understand something important. Ignoring this moment does not cancel blessing. Love does not work that way. But ignoring this moment delays recognition. It delays your ability to see what is already forming. It delays your awareness of what you are being invited into. And awareness matters, because what you recognize, you can respond to. What you do not recognize passes you by silently. Today carries a shift. Not tomorrow. Not someday far away. Today. And this day will not feel the same as other days if you stay present. You may still go through your routines. You may still speak to the same people and walk through the same spaces. But something within you is being adjusted. Your sight is being refined. Your heart is being steadied. Your understanding is being prepared. Get ready, not with fear, not with nervous excitement, but with awareness. Awareness is readiness. Awareness is openness. Awareness is the posture that allows what is already moving to meet you where you are. You do not need to prepare yourself by striving. You do not need to prove anything. You simply need to stay here, listening, breathing, allowing truth to reach you without resistance. This will happen sooner than you expect, not because time is speeding up, but because alignment is already happening. When alignment occurs, movement feels sudden even when it has been forming for a long time. That is why it can feel like a surprise. Not because it came out of nowhere, but because you did not see all the quiet preparation behind it. I know part of you is cautious. You have learned to protect yourself from disappointment. You have learned to be careful with hope. I am not asking you to abandon wisdom. I am asking you to trust presence. Trust that this moment was prepared. Trust that you are not being teased with empty words. Trust that love does not interrupt without purpose. Look at where you are right now. Notice how your attention has slowed. Notice how your heart is listening even if your mind still has questions. That is not accidental. That is response. That is awareness choosing to stay instead of run. A choice matters more than you know. Today will not pass like the others because today you are awake to something deeper. Today you are listening instead of numbing. Today you are present instead of distracted. That alone changes the direction of your path. Many days look the same on the outside but shape lives differently on the inside. This is one of those days. I am with you this moment. Not watching from a distance. Not testing you. Not measuring your reaction. I am here, steady, close, intentional. I am speaking because love speaks when silence would be easier. I am interrupting because care refuses to let you drift past what matters. Type my hope rests only in you if Jesus has become your unshakable foundation. Stay with me. Stay aware. Let this moment breathe. Something is already unfolding, and you are standing inside it. This is not hype. This is not fantasy. This is the quiet beginning of something real. And today, because you stopped, because you listened, because you stayed, will not be forgotten. My child, today is not an ordinary day, even if it looks like one on the surface. You woke up into the same world, the same routines, the same responsibilities, yet something inside you sensed a difference before you could explain it. That feeling did not come from your imagination. It did not rise from coincidence. It came from awareness touching something real. There are days measured by clocks and calendars, and there are days measured by meaning. Today is measured by meaning. Calendar days move forward whether you are ready or not. They pass evenly, one after another, without regard for what is happening inside your heart. Spiritual days are different. They carry weight. They carry intention. They arrive when alignment has reached a point where something can shift without breaking you. You may live through many calendar days that feel empty or repetitive, and then suddenly one day feels heavier, quieter, more serious, even if nothing obvious has changed. That is how you know you are standing in a spiritual day. Some days pass quietly because they are meant to pass. They are days of maintenance, days of rest, days of waiting. Other days arrive with an inner pull, a sense that something matters more than usual. You feel it as restlessness, or as stillness, or as a strange mix of both. Today carries that feeling because it was shaped with intention. It was not dropped into your life at random. It was placed. You are learning to recognize the difference between ordinary time and appointed time. Appointed time does not shout. It draws your attention inward. It asks you to slow down without forcing you to stop. It invites you to listen more carefully, to notice what you usually ignore. That invitation is what you felt when you paused today, That pause is part of the day's purpose. Today feels different internally because something inside you has shifted enough to notice what you used to miss. Your awareness has grown. Your tolerance for emptiness has worn thin. Your heart has become honest about wanting more than distraction and survival. That honesty did not appear overnight. It was formed through your waiting, your questioning, your disappointments, and your quiet endurance. Today reflects the growth that has already taken place within you. Unseen alignment has been occurring around you, slowly and carefully. Alignment does not rush because it involves many moving parts. It involves your heart, your understanding, your timing, and the circumstances that surround you. While you were living your life, alignment was forming without your effort. Conversations shifted. Opportunities rearranged. Certain paths closed while others quietly prepared to open. You did not see all of it, but you are beginning to feel the result. This is why today carries weight. It is a meeting point between who you have become and what has been prepared. Meeting points are rare. They are moments when readiness and opportunity finally face each other. That is why this day does not feel like the others. Your spirit recognizes the meeting even if your mind is still catching up. I want to reassure you clearly. This is not coincidence. Coincidence does not carry this kind of clarity. Coincidence does not settle your heart while awakening your attention. Coincidence does not call you inward with gentleness and seriousness at the same time. What you are feeling is recognition. Recognition always feels steady, not frantic. You may be tempted to doubt this feeling, to tell yourself you are reading too much into things. Doubt often appears when truth begins to surface, because truth asks you to stay present. Doubt invites you to dismiss what requires attention. I am not offended by your questions. I am inviting you not to let them close what awareness has opened. Spiritual days often arrive quietly because loud days invite reaction, not reflection. Reaction moves quickly but shallowly. Reflection moves slowly but deeply. Today is asking for depth. Depth allows lasting change. Depth creates roots. That is why this day feels slower, heavier, more intentional. I want you to notice how your breathing has changed as you listen, how your thoughts have slowed, how your heart feels steadier even as it feels alert. That is grounding. Grounding replaces doubt with presence. Presence does not need to prove itself. It simply remains. You are not imagining this moment. You are recognizing it. Recognition does not mean you understand everything yet. It means you know enough to stay. Staying is powerful. Staying is a response. Many miss their spiritual days not because they are unworthy, but because they rush past them without noticing. Today is not asking you to do something dramatic. It is asking you to be aware. Awareness is the doorway through which alignment becomes visible. Without awareness, even the most prepared moment passes unnoticed. With awareness, even small shifts become meaningful. Please support our channel. Our work is dedicated to bringing happiness into your life and inspiring devotion to God. If you would like to support us, you can donate through Super Thanks. You may wonder why this day came now and not earlier. Earlier, you were still learning through experience what could not be taught through words. Earlier, your heart was still building the capacity to hold what is beginning to unfold. Today arrived because you can now receive without fear controlling your response. This day does not demand urgency and action. It invites urgency and attention. Attention is where clarity grows. Attention is where peace settles. Attention is how you recognize what is already moving toward you. I want you to let go of the need to label this day too quickly. Let it unfold. Let understanding come in layers. Spiritual days reveal themselves over time, not all at once. What matters is that you noticed, that you paused, that you listened. Emotional grounding replaces doubt when you allow yourself to trust what you feel without forcing an explanation. You do not need to convince yourself this day is important. You already sense it. Trust that sense gently. Let it guide you into deeper listening rather than rushed conclusions. Today is not ordinary because you are not the same person you were before. Your awareness has shifted. Your heart has softened. Your questions have matured. Those changes make today different even if the world looks the same. I am not asking you to carry the weight of this day alone. I am with you in it. I am steady where you feel unsure. I am calm where you feel alert. I am present where you feel watched. You are not being observed from a distance. You are being accompanied. Let today be what it is without trying to control it. Let it speak to you through quiet recognition rather than loud expectation. Let it ground you instead of rushing you. This day carries meaning not because of what will happen externally, but because of what is already aligning within you. This is why today is not ordinary. It is a day of awareness, alignment, and quiet turning. And because you noticed, because you stayed, because you listened, this day will shape what comes next more than you realize. My child, there are things that have been moving toward you quietly for a long time, even while you believed nothing was happening. I want you to hear this slowly, because silence does not mean absence, and delay does not mean denial. While you were waiting, questioning, and sometimes losing hope, movement was taking place beyond your sight. I did not forget you. I did not pause my care. I did not step away. I worked in ways that protected you, not in ways that impressed you. There were answers you asked for that did not arrive when you wanted them. You prayed, you hoped, you waited, and time passed without the response you expected. Yet silence felt painful. It made you wonder if your voice reached me at all. But those answers were delayed, not refused. Some answers needed to mature before they could meet you without harming you. Some truths, if given too early, would have confused you instead of guiding you. Unseen protection surrounded those delays. I was guarding you from outcomes that would have looked right, but felt wrong later. I was keeping you from stepping into situations that would have drained you, shaped you incorrectly, or attached you to paths that would have taken more than they gave. Protection often looks like delay when you cannot see the full picture. There were moments when you felt frustrated, even angry, because things did not move forward. Plans stalled. Doors closed. Progress slowed. You thought you were being held back. In truth, you were being shielded. Some movements had to remain hidden because exposure too early would have attracted pressure, interference, or fear that would have weakened what was forming. I hide movement not to tease you, but to protect what is fragile in its beginning. Seeds grow underground before they break the surface. Roots strengthen in darkness before branches reach the light. If you pulled the seed up too early to check its progress, you would damage it. In the same way, what has been moving toward you needed time in hidden places. You are beginning to see your past delays differently now. What once felt like wasted time is starting to feel purposeful. The moments you thought were empty are revealing themselves as preparation. The waiting that exhausted you also strengthened you. It taught you patience, discernment, and humility. It taught you how to live without constant reassurance. That strength was necessary for what is approaching. Some of the protection you received came through closed doors you did not understand. Relationships that faded. Opportunities that slipped away. Directions that suddenly fell blocked. At the time, those losses hurt deeply. Now you are in a position to see that those closures kept you from attachments that would have limited your growth. What you lost was not meant to last. What is moving toward you carries greater peace. I want you to understand that hidden movement does not mean slow movement. It means careful movement. While you were measuring progress by visible change, I was working at a deeper level. I was aligning timing, people, understanding, and readiness. Alignment is delicate. It requires patience. Rushing it would have cost you more than waiting ever did. You may have wondered why others seemed to move ahead while you stayed in place. That comparison caused pain and doubt. But you were not standing still. You were being formed differently. Their path was not your path. Their timing was not your timing. What you carry requires depth, not speed. Depth takes time to build. As you listen now, anticipation may be rising in you, but notice how it feels different from anxiety. Anxiety rushes and demands proof. Anticipation waits with hope. What you feel now is not desperation. It is readiness. Readiness is calm. It trusts that movement does not need to be forced. The things moving toward you are not arriving to overwhelm you. They are arriving to meet you where you are now, not where you were before. That is why they waited. You are steadier. You are more aware. You are less likely to mistake noise for direction. That growth matters. Some answers were delayed because you needed to stop asking the wrong questions. Earlier, you asked when and how. Now, you are asking why and who. Those questions lead to understanding instead of frustration. Understanding makes room for peace. I protected you from knowing too much too soon. Knowledge without readiness creates fear. Timing matters not just for outcomes, but for your heart. I waited until your heart could receive truth without panic. That is love, even when it felt like silence. You are beginning to sense that something has been moving closer for a while. That sense is not new. It is simply clear now. Clarity arrives when alignment nears completion. Completion does not mean the end of the journey. It means the end of waiting in the dark. I want you to release resentment toward past delays. They did not steal from you. They guarded you. They shaped you. They prevented unnecessary pain. When you look back, you will see that every pause saved you from something you were not meant to carry. The movement that was hidden is becoming noticeable now because you are ready to notice it. Your attention has sharpened. Your heart has slowed enough to feel subtle shifts. Subtlety requires presence. You are present now in a way you were not before. Do not let anticipation turn into impatience. What is coming does not require chasing. It will meet you naturally as you stay aligned. Chasing comes from fear of missing out. Alignment comes from trust that what is meant for you arrives without force. Say, I receive your peace today. Lord, if you're tired of the storm and long for calm, you may still not see everything clearly, and that is okay. You do not need full visibility to trust movement. You only need enough awareness to stay grounded. Grounded anticipation is powerful. It allows joy to rise without anxiety taking control. I want you to know that nothing has been wasted. No prayer disappeared. No tear was ignored. No waiting season was empty. Everything contributed to the moment you are standing in now. Even your doubts serve a purpose. They push you to seek depth instead of surface answers. What has been moving toward you carries peace. It will not demand that you abandon yourself. It will not ask you to shrink or pretend. It will meet you with honesty and stability. That is how you will recognize it. As anticipation grows, let it remain gentle. Let it open your heart instead of tightening it. You do not need to prepare by striving. Preparation has already happened. Your role now is awareness and trust. You are not late. You are not behind. You are not catching up. You are arriving at the right moment with the right understanding. The movement that was hidden is revealing itself at the pace that protects you. Stay present. Stay open. Let hope rise without pressure. What has been moving toward you quietly is closer than it has ever been, and because it was protected, it arrives with peace instead of chaos. I am with you in this unfolding. I was with you in the waiting. I am with you in the revealing. Nothing about your journey has been accidental. And now, as what was hidden begins to surface, you can receive it without fear, knowing that the delay served you, not harmed you. My child, this surprise could not come earlier, not because I did not hear your desire, and not because I withheld good from you, but because desire alone is not what prepares a heart to receive what lasts. There is a difference between wanting something and being ready to hold it without being changed in the wrong ways by it. I know how deeply you wanted movement. I know how often you asked why it was taking so long. But I was watching something more important than your longing. I was watching your readiness. Desire reaches forward with hope. Readiness stands steady with understanding. Earlier, your desire was real, but your heart was still learning how to rest without answers, how to trust without proof, how to stay open without control. If this surprise had come earlier, it might have excited you, but it would not have grounded you. It might have relieved pressure, but it would not have brought peace. Timing is not about giving quickly. It is about giving well. You have changed more than you realize. Not in loud ways. Not in ways others easily notice. You have changed in how you respond to silence. You have changed in how you sit with uncertainty. You have changed in what you no longer chase. Those changes are not accidental. They are signs of preparation. Preparation does not always feel like growth. Often it feels like waiting, questioning, and letting go. Earlier, you wanted answers to remove discomfort. Now, you want understanding to bring alignment. Earlier, you wanted movement to escape stillness. Now, you can sit in stillness without feeling lost. Earlier, you wanted outcomes to prove you were on the right path. And now, you are learning to trust the path even when outcomes are still forming. That shift matters more than you know. I needed you to become someone who could receive without grasping, who could hold blessing without fear of losing it, who could walk forward without constantly looking back for reassurance. Those qualities cannot be rushed into existence. They are formed through time, through patience, through moments when nothing seemed to be happening on the surface. You often thought waiting meant stagnation. In truth, waiting was shaping your inner foundation. Foundations are built underground. No one celebrates them. No one sees them. But everything depends on them. If I had built on an unstable foundation, the surprise would not have stood. It would have collapsed under pressure. I want you to hear this with gentleness. You were not being tested to see how long you could endure. You were being prepared to see how deeply you could trust. Trust grows slowly. It grows through repetition, through disappointment that does not harden the heart, through hope that survives silence. You learn to keep your heart open even when answers did not come quickly. That openness is readiness. The version of you that exists now is not the same version that asked these questions months or years ago. You are less reactive. You are more reflective. You are less willing to settle for surface explanations. You are more attentive to what feels true instead of what feels urgent. That maturity did not come easily. It came through waiting that felt heavy and long. I did not delay to punish you. I delayed to protect what was coming and to protect you from receiving it too soon. Some gifts, when given early, become burdens. Some opportunities, when received without preparation, become distractions. I love you too much to place weight on you before you were strong enough to carry it with peace. You may look back now and see moments when you almost walked away, almost settled for less, almost closed your heart to hope. Those moments were not failures. They were part of the shaping. Each time you chose to stay open, even a little, you grew. Each time you resisted bitterness, you strengthened. Each time you waited without giving up entirely, you became more ready. Waiting refined your discernment. You learned to recognize what feels rushed versus what feels aligned. You learned that loud promises often fade, but quiet truth remains. You learned that not everything that excites you is meant to stay, and not everything that stays needs to excite you. That wisdom was earned through time. I want to validate the pain of waiting. Waiting hurt. It stretched you. It made you question yourself and sometimes question me. I did not ignore that pain. I held it with you. But pain does not mean the process was wrong. Pain often accompanies growth because growth stretches what was comfortable. You did not waste your waiting. You were not standing still while life passed you by. You were becoming someone who could recognize the surprise for what it truly is, not just for how it makes you feel in the moment. And now, when it arrives, it will not replace your identity. It will align with it. Earlier, you might have tied your worth to the arrival of this surprise. Now, you know your worth exists before and beyond it. That freedom is essential. When worth is secure, blessing becomes a gift instead of a test. This is why it could not come earlier. Not because the surprise was not ready, but because you were still becoming ready. Readiness is quiet. It does not announce itself. It reveals itself in how you handle uncertainty, how you treat yourself in waiting, how you remain open without control. You are now able to receive without fear driving your response. Fear twists gifts into worries. Fear turns blessings into pressure. You are steadier now. Steadiness allows joy to stay. I want you to release regret about the timing. Regret assumes something was lost. Nothing was lost. Everything was shaped. Every delay served a purpose that is becoming clear now. When you look back from what is coming, you will not wish it had come sooner. You will understand why it arrived when it did. Emotional validation matters here. Your waiting was not weakness. It was endurance. Your questions were not failure. They were honesty. Your moments of doubt did not disqualify you. They humanized you. You did not have to be perfect to be prepared. You only had to stay open enough to keep growing. Now you stand in a place where desire and readiness are finally meeting. Desire still exists, but it no longer controls you. Readiness has formed beneath it, steady and calm. That is alignment. Alignment is what allows surprises to bless rather than overwhelm. I am not rushing what comes next. Even now, I am moving with care. But the care feels different because you feel different. You are not reaching desperately anymore. You are receiving attentively. That shift changes everything. Let this understanding settle gently in you. Let it remove self-blame. Let it soften frustration. Let it replace impatience with gratitude. Gratitude not because waiting was easy, but because waiting was purposeful. You did not miss your moment. Your moment arrived when you were able to stand in it without fear. That is why it could not come earlier. And that is why, now, as it begins to unfold, it comes with peace instead of pressure, clarity instead of confusion, and trust instead of anxiety. I am with you in this realization. I was with you in the waiting. I am with you in the receiving. Nothing about your journey was wasted. Everything about it prepared you for what is now possible. My child, what you must do right now is simpler than your mind expects and deeper than your habits are used to. I am not asking you to rush. I am not asking you to fix anything. I am not asking you to make promises or decisions you are not ready to keep. I am asking you to be still with me. Stillness is not inactivity. It is attention without resistance. It is the posture that allows what is already moving to meet you without being distorted. Right now, let your breathing slow. Let your shoulders drop. Let your thoughts come without chasing them away and without following them too far. You do not need to silence your mind. You need to stop letting it pull you away. Stillness is choosing presence over reaction. You are capable of this, even if you have not practiced it often. You are doing it now by staying here. Give me your attention, not as effort, but as availability. Attention is not straying. It is openness. It is allowing this moment to be what it is without trying to make it into something else. Attention is how recognition grows. When you pay attention, you notice what is already true instead of waiting for something dramatic to convince you. Trust does not mean certainty. Trust means allowing yourself to stay without demanding proof. Trust means resisting the urge to scroll, to distract, to fill the quiet with noise. Distraction steals recognition because it interrupts awareness just as understanding begins to form. Distraction does not announce itself as danger. It presents itself as relief. But relief that comes too quickly often prevents depth from settling. I want you to understand this clearly. You do not need to do more to make this moment work. You do not need to add effort. You do not need to perform spiritually or emotionally. Listening is enough. Staying present is enough. Allowing awareness to deepen is enough. This is not a test of action. It is an invitation to presence. Right now, choose not to multitask. Choose not to divide your attention. Even if your surroundings are busy, let your inner space remain focused. You are training your heart to recognize what matters by giving it space to feel without interruption. This choice shapes more than you realize. You may feel the urge to check something else, to move on, to tell yourself you will come back later. That urge is not random. It is the old pattern of avoiding stillness when something important is happening. You are not wrong for feeling it. You are simply being invited not to follow at this time. Comment, I know God is fighting for me right now if the battle feels too heavy to carry, and share this video in your family member.